What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? New Abyss reset, the first of the KRAI region. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start off with the blessing of the Abyssal Moon. Surging Moon basically trigger Hydro. You have a shockwave every 2 seconds. Very simple. Now going over the leyline disorders, we have first half an emphasis on Electro and Lunar Charge, and second half Bloom and Lunar Bloom. So obviously this works well with Nefer, works well with Aino, works well with the Lauma, and of course in the future Flints as well. Alright, so just briefly talk about the enemies. So first half of Chamber 1, we have Mirror Maiden, followed by the Papillon Idol. Second half, 2 of the Hydro Phantasms, and then followed by a wave of the Hydro Topa. Chamber 2, first half, 2 Hydro Helitro Ropes, followed by the new enemy, the Radiant Moonfly. And then for the second half, 3 waves in total. First wave, 2 of the Thunder Craven Rifthounds, followed by 2 of the Osea Assault Max. And then the last wave is 1 Aramite Elite of the Dendrokind, the Ring Dancer, and 1 of the Geokind, which is the Stone Enchanter. And then for the Chamber 3 first half, first wave of the new Batui enemy that I'm not going to pronounce, and then Nakodako for the second wave. And then for the second half, we have a wave of the 3 Shadowy Husks, each with their own abilities, followed by a second wave of 3 Magu Kengis, each with their own abilities. Alright, so this is a team that I brought in. First half, we have the Lunar Charge team. I have Jean in here to deal with the Radiant Moonfly, because you kind of want a little bit of healing, so that's something for you to take note of. And then for the second half, we have Arlecchino in a melt team with Bennett, Oopsie Daisy, Kazuha, and also Sitlali. So we're ignoring the whole Bloom thing, we're just going to go for a melt team basically. Okay, so Chamber 1 first half, we have the Mirror Maiden, which you just want to take out as fast as possible. High Hydro resistance, as she does teleport away once or twice, so very mindful for abilities that are a little bit stationary like Jean's Burst. But as mentioned, less than 1,000,000 HP, does take her out as quick as you can, so you can go on to the second wave. Now going on to the Papillon Idol, this mechanic where he hides into his head, and the one that he's in has his face on it, and you want to apply either Lunar or Electro Charge, and this basically tries to break his shield, and once you break his shield, he will take a significant amount of damage, which scales on how much Electro or Hydro you apply, or how much of the reactions you trigger. So once he's stunned, he's actually just there for the taking. You know, he's pretty weak once he's done. Yeah, basically just go ham on the man. There's really nothing much to say here about it. Yeah, he actually stays stunned for a pretty long time, and his resistance go back to normal, so like your 10% of like everything. So yeah, just take it out as fast as possible. Alright, starting with the second half, we have 2 of the Hydro Phantasms. You want to take them out as fast as you can, not only to get the second wave running, but also because after 15 seconds they get enraged. But if you freeze them, they kind of stop that timer. So once you freeze them or you bloom them, right, just take them as fast as possible. And then comes the Hydro Topa, who also has this Hydro Aura that you can make use of freeze, vaporize, or even Electro Charge, or even Bloom, so for maximum damage. Be very mindful, because his attacks are all Hydro, that if you are in Bennett's circle, you're bringing in like Pyro characters, that you don't get hit, because obviously the Vaporize can one-shot you if you do not have a shield. So that's something for players to take note of. You'll notice that he has some strong attacks, and also summons the mini Hydro Topas. So basically, you want to kill them as much as you can, because he will try to absorb them. And what happens if he does successfully do it is that he will have higher resistance and also deal a lot of damage. So just be very mindful of that. How do you kill them? Reactions: melt, bloom, vaporize. Not melts, but you get what I'm trying to say. Freeze. Right, and then at the same time, if you kill them while he's trying to absorb them, he actually gets stunned for a while. So that's kind of very helpful to stagger him for just those few seconds. But yeah, it's just really a battle of survival against this guy. He's very tanky, you know, so just be very mindful. As you can see right now, he gets stunned for a little bit, so it's gonna be very helpful in you dealing that small bit of damage while he's not attacking you. See, he's very relentless, so you have a shielder, kind of helpful as well. But other than that, use the Hydro aura to your advantage. So floor 12, chamber 2, first half. First wave, very simple. 2 Hydro Helitro rogues. Take them out as fast as you can, so they can start off the second wave as quickly as possible. Group them if you need to, but take them out as quickly as possible. Alright, now comes the Radiant Moonfly, who has this mechanic where if he hits you with an attack where he jumps to the sky and does a big Dendro Blast, it does damage to the entire team at a certain percentage. So if your off-field character is low HP, they can get killed. But more importantly, they put this debuff onto your team that can only be cleared if you heal your character to the full. Very annoying because chlorinde cannot heal in this state, which is very annoying. So what this debuff does is reduce your incoming healing and also your crit rate. So if you have a character that's very dependent on crit rate, for example with my chlorinde, then you find it quite annoying that you can't do your damage, but you still be fine and nonetheless. So yeah, once you just have to manage this ability. If you need a healer, please bring a healer in. Or you're very good at dodging, then just dodge everything. But you should be fine if you can manage that debuff situation. Alright, so now comes the second half, which is 3 waves. First wave, 2 of the Electro Rifthounds. Basically, if you bring Electro characters in, they actually have lowered resistance against them, but they're a lot more aggressive. That being said, the one thing to take note is their corrosion mechanic, which is basically damage over time that passes through shields. So if you are bringing a shielder or you bring Alakino in who can't heal besides her elemental burst, it can be a little bit rough, but just manage it as you seem fit. Yeah, basically you can also use their electro aura to do any electro based reactions, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal if you do not do so. Now comes the wave of 2 of the max from Fontaine. These are Usia aligned, so if you happen to have any Fontaine characters that are Numa aligned, you can actually use them to stun, but it shouldn't be a big deal. This Usia Numa mechanic was never a big deal, so if you don't have any of the characters, you should still be fine. Take them out as fast as you can to prepare for the last wave. It comes the 2 Aramite elites, the Dendro and Geo version, and where they obviously will summon their creatures, and the effective way to take them out is to take out the creatures that are summoned. Once you do so, they'll have their resistance reduced by quite a lot and also take health damage. So if you need, please focus on them so that you can go ham onto the elites once they are stunned. Alright, Chamber 3 first half. Alright, first wave starts off with the new Fatui enemy. No resistance, take note. Kill her as fast as you can. Nothing much to say. She's just there to waste your time. So just take as little time as possible to go for the second half. Second wave, that's what I meant. And then comes the Knuckle Duckle. So his main mechanic is that he summons the 5 ducks, the mechanical ducks, that get destroyed if you apply Lunar or Electro Charge 10 times. You want to do this because this will break his shield and also do damage to him at 5% per duck, I believe. And once he's stunned, low resistance, go ham, and eventually you see that the cycle will repeat once again. So that's all there is to the Knuckle Duckle, right? You just want to have a lot of electro charge being or lunar charge being applied onto the duck so you can get him stunned as fast as you can, and then you can go ham. After a while, and once he reaches the health threshold, he will start to jump in the air, and that is the indication he's going to summon the ducks again. So sometimes, if you're good enough or you're strong enough, you can probably take them out before the ducks are summoned. But if the ducks are summoned, just repeat the entire process and you should be good. All right, now the last half. First wave starts with 3 of the shadowy hearts, each with their own resistance and mechanics. Basically, if you have a shield and each enemy hits them, they will have different effects. The pyro one gives you a pyro shield, the shielder has a big shield, and the hydro one will heal the entire enemy group. And then comes to the Magukenki, 3 of them, normal, cryo, and the anemo ones, so their attacks will obviously correspond. So be very, very careful if you have bandit with you, because obviously they can swirl and they can also melt. So other than that, while they hit very, very hard, you just have to also reply and hit hard at the same time. There's really nothing much to it. Just be very mindful of the attacks. The cryo one I find always goes to the side. So generally you will generally kill the normal and the anemo one first, for what I've seen. And then once they are done, just take out, just take them as fast as you can. AoE is pretty good. You can see I took out 2 of the 3 in pretty quick time, and then I just have 1 left. And of course, if I'm able to take all 3 of them out at the same time, that would be pretty awesome. All right, so that's that, and now I'll show you the characters build as seen from the live stream. So here is team 1. All right, we have Nefa on the death match. He has 2-piece EM, 2-piece attack. I've not changed her set yet. These are her crit stats and stuff like that. ER. And then for so artifacts once again: flower, feather, sands, goblets, and the crown. And then C0, talents 198. And then for Sanctuary 11212, it's the same build as the last one. So this is where his stats are: weapon, sacrificial sword, and then we have the 4-piece emblem of Severed Fate, which is his signature. So yeah, sorry, for a while I thought this was this is a goblet, but yeah, that's where it is. C6 for 4 stars, pretty nice. Jean C3, we do have her with Favonius, so she's on 4-piece Verdus and Venera. These are her stats, giving her just ER and some crit so that she can, proc the Favonius. C3 once again, and then 1612. Actually, wouldn't have brought her if not for the Radiant Moonfly needing some healing. So that's that. And then that's Clorinde, 8211. Pretty nice ratio. I'm on the 4-piece harmonic of fragment of Whimsic harmonic Whimsy. Shit. Damn, I just cursed. Demonetized for sure. Okay, but anyways, but yeah, these are the stats, and then yeah, it's pretty decent all around. We'll want some more crit damage, but it is what it is. And then by the power of movie magic. All right, so this is the second team with Arlecchino, CCA1212, who use more crit rate. I do know about that. She has her signature, which is very, very nice. 4-piece harmonic whimsy as well. So these are the stats. I do have EM on it's kind of a bad EM piece, but it is what it is. This is the crit rate, and then this is the pyro goblet. And then C0, 1088, Bandit 1612. This is his stats. Doesn't really matter. All that matters is his weapon. He has enough ER for him to burst. So yeah, that's basically it. And because he's on the Favonius, that's enough to crit. So that is that. Kazuha, this is his stats. All that matters is his ER and his EM. So that's that. We have Freedom Sword on him, his signature weapon, and these are the stats on his pieces. Triple EM, the way to go. And he is a C0. Unfortunately, he's not didn't give him in the free constellation, and I'm very sad about that. But that is his stats. And then we have Sitlali 199. She just basically ER, EM, that's about it. She is on a signature, and she's on the 4-piece Hero of Cinder City set. So that's about it. Yeah, double EM and a crit rate on the last piece. All right, so that's that for this Abyss cycle. In my opinion, it's a pretty good start to the Not Cry region. I feel that the first half shielded the element of Lunar and Electro Charge a lot more than the second half did for Bloom and Lunar Bloom, but it is what it is. The Papillon Idol was designed for that, and so was the Nako Dako, where you have to have Electro Charge or Lunar Charge. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys do well in the current Abyss cycle. Let me know your thoughts on the enemies and let me know what you used. Other than that, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And also follow me live on Twitch and also on YouTube where these attacks were done. So without further ado, I wish you guys well. I wish you guys happiness. I don't know what else to say. Take care, stay safe, be good to yourselves and people around you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.